There is something that most people tend to struggle a lot with, but very few people have the courage to admit it. Okay, and this one can be for Christians or even non-Christians, especially if you believe in the existence of God. Sometimes you might find yourself in a season whereby you seriously hate, or you feel like you're angry at God. Okay, so many people will pretend that they are not angry at God, but deep inside, okay, their heart is saying otherwise. And sometimes you can be angry at God for certain reasons or for no reasons at all. There are people who are seriously angry at God for no reason. If you would ask them, why exactly are you angry at God? They will never give you a specific answer. But for majority, there is always something that has made them feel angry at God. And sometimes this tend to happens a lot when you're experiencing a lot of difficulties, or when you face a lot of struggles in your life, and you feel abandoned. You feel like God has neglected you. You feel like you're always praying, you're always reading the Bible, you're doing all these things to ensure that you have a deep relationship with God, but still you're not hearing his voice, you're not seeing the signs, you can't really experience the love and affection of God. And that is why some people always feel like they are seriously angry at God. And but there, I understand if you're scared to admit it. In fact, so many people, the main reason as to why so many people will never admit that they're angry at God is because of fear. They are so scared. They feel like saying it loudly, or even like just internalizing the fact that they are angry at God, it makes them feel like a sinner, or it makes them feel like God might punish them. Okay, but so many people are angry at God. And by the way, I'm not here to judge you, because I've also experienced that. There's a season in my life where I felt like I was seriously angry at God. And the main reason as to why I was angry at God is I felt like I needed answers. I felt abandoned. I felt like God is not answering my prayers. There's something that I wanted seriously, and I felt like God is not coming through for me. And that is why I had so much anger in me. And by the way, it's good sometimes to admit that you're angry at God, not to me, but to yourself and to God. That is the first step to you. Just say it. It's not wrong to admit that you're angry at God. So many people are angry at God. Okay, like I mentioned, some people are angry at God for no particular reason, but others, they have reasons. Okay, and one of the major reasons is when you feel like God is not close to you. God is not giving you what you want exactly. Okay, sometimes we put a lot of expectation, not only on ourselves but also to God. We feel like we even put a lot of pressure on the prayers that we make. We feel like God has to come through at that specific time and in a specific manner. Okay, and so when you don't experience that, or when your prayer doesn't get answered, you get mad. You get mad at God. You start having all these emotional feelings towards God. And that is when anger now creeps into your life. And you start having so much hatred for God. You start feeling like God is not with you. God doesn't love you. You are not his child. God doesn't care about you. And God favors other people. So if you're in that season where you're angry at God, please let God know. Let go. Don't go around telling people, let God know, because you're not angry at people, you are angry at God. So admit that you are angry at God, and let God help you. Yeah, that is the only thing that you can do. Okay, it's okay to be. I'm not even sure if it's okay to be angry at God. But so many people experience this. You are just angry, especially like when you're going through a lot of struggles. You always feel like God doesn't like you. Okay, you always feel like, why are you struggling and other people are progressing in life? Okay, you even other people are giving testimonies of how God is answering their prayers, and God is speaking to them through dreams, giving them signs, coming through for them. But here you are doing all these things to ensure that you get the attention of God, and to ensure that you build this deeper relationship with God. But still, it's silence everywhere. It's silence. And that is why you are angry at God. You are angry at God because your prayer has not been answered. You are angry at God because you feel neglected. You are angry at God because you don't really like the life that you're living in, and you feel like God is responsible for everything that is happening in your life. That is why you are angry. Imagine. I've gone through that. I've experienced that. I also had such kind of thoughts. Okay, sometimes I feel like, God, I'm not happy with you. Like, oh, why are all these things happening to me? Especially when you're putting in the work, when you're trying to really have a relationship with God, and God is nowhere to be seen or nowhere to be found. That is what you will experience. Okay, and that is why sometimes we need to come to a point of complete surrender to God and let grace, okay, just let it consume us. Let the mercy of God consume us. Because I feel like when you put too much pressure on yourself, and when you focus a lot on the efforts, you will end up becoming angry at God. Okay, so just chill, and it's okay to be angry at God, but please just open your heart and let God know. Because one thing that you can never do as a human being, you can never hide from God, and God can see the state of your heart. You see, you can go around pretending that you are happy, pretending that you love everything, but inside your heart you're like, no, I don't like you, God. Okay, you can lie to your fellow human beings, how you can even preach, but deep inside you know very well that you're not happy with God. Okay, and sometimes those are the things that are limiting us from hearing from God. What you preach and what you say, what you preach and how you act are completely different. Okay, you are all over talking about the goodness of God and the mercy of God and how faithful God is, but deep inside you have so much hatred for God. You are so angry at him. You don't even want, you just don't want anything to God. Why? Because you feel like God is not with you, but God is always with us. God is always with us. And despite whatever thing that you're going through, even if you feel like you're angry at God, God is still merciful enough to accept us the way we are. And He's always here to hear us. That's all that I can say. Sometimes it's good to admit that you are really angry at God, because that is the first step. The moment you admit that actually you are angry at God, then you stop pretending, you stop acting, and you stop behaving, in a way that doesn't please God. So just admit it. Admit that you're not happy with your papa. Admit that you're not happy with God and you need God's help. Admit it and let God know that you're not happy. Let God know that there's a certain area in your life that you're not happy, so that he can fill it with his love and peace and mercy and all these good things. I hope you get me, and make sure you subscribe to me. I love you, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.